My name is Marijke. I am the General Manager of Microsoft in Belgium and Luxembourg. I see around me inspiring people who are embracing technology and AI to create a better world. Each and every one in their very own way. Today, I talk to Guillaume Boutin, the forward-looking CEO of Proximus. He inspires me in the way he embraces technology to drive real impact. Thoughtful and visionary.
Podcast series Marijke's Groos with Guillaume Boutin, take 1. Welcome everyone, I'm Marijke Groos. I'm the General Manager for Microsoft in Belgium and Luxembourg. In the coming weeks, I will do a few podcasts with people that inspired me over the last 12 months. People that, just like me, believe in the power of innovation and in the power that technology can bring to our society. That use AI the way I do it to increase productivity and creativity. And today we are at Proximus and I'm meeting with the CEO, Guillaume Boutin. Thanks, Guillaume, for having us here. How are you?
Good.
And how is it going at Proximus?
It's going super well. I think we have a fantastic momentum. I think commercially we are winning the market. I think we're investing in new technology with fiber 5G. We are also investing in new activities, globally, because we are also acting as a champion in the digital communications domain. So I think a lot of things are happening, and we are extremely excited.
It's a great momentum in market. You were also one of the early adopters of our Copilot pilots. How do you see it?
At first, it was really a true discovery, and when you start to understand the power of the technology, it brings a lot of opportunities. It's basically a new world opening up, and you have to see that as a way to supercharge everything that we were doing before in a different way. So I'm really excited about the Copilot opportunity and the Gen AI opportunities that are going forward.
Yes, absolutely. You have to unlearn a lot as well, of course.
You have to unlearn a lot. You have to experience it. And the good thing about Gen AI technology is that you can understand really fast the power of the techno, so that you can use it yourself, see what it brings to you, and then create or co-create with your teams what can bring the technology for other domains, just beyond Microsoft Office, because I'm using it in a very small environment of Microsoft Office. But I think it's still a work in progress, though. Absolutely. I think we need to reinvent a lot of things, to unlearn a lot of things, as you said, but also to do it the right way. We don't want to use it, blindly. So we need also to make sure that we create the right foundations to be able to use it the correct way for our teams.
Absolutely. You inspired me with that transparency of AI, also sovereignty. Can you explain a little bit more your vision on these domains?
Yeah, that's really important. But of course, when you start to use AI, when you start to use a lot of data, when you start to try to unleash the power of those data for your customers, then you have to think a bit differently. And make sure that you do it also following the integrity of your own data and the data of your customers. And for that, we have to make sure that we have the different types of environments for our cloud systems, going from true public cloud towards a more sovereign approach. And together we have that new confidential compute product, which is a way to reconcile sovereignty with the power of the cloud. And I think, depending on the use cases, depending on the data that you are manipulating, depending on the level of security you want to build for your own data or for your services, then I think now there is all the flavors of cloud existing on the market. Absolutely. And I think you can adapt the way you want to do it with the integrity, the level of security you want to put on your data. And I think now everything is there. It's more a question of explaining that there is no risk, that everything can be controlled, that your data can be stay in Belgium, for example, if you want to your data to stay in Belgium. But there is no more limitation to the move to cloud. And I think that's starting now to be understood by most of our customers.
Absolutely, and we are great partners in that story, of course. For every use case, there is a solution. So
that's
really important. You have launched Proximus Next. What is the ambition?
It's really to bring to the Belgian market a new brand. It's not like we bring a new Proximus to our customers, but in a way it's a way to say very loudly that Proximus is a pure player when it comes to IT transformation, when it comes to accompany our own enterprise customers towards that world with more cloud, with more data, with more AI. And I think it was important to signal that to customers, to the market, that as Proximus, we are probably one of the best companies to accompany our enterprise customers into their digital transformation. And that's why we needed a brand. And that brand, Proximus Next, is a fantastic brand. I think we launched it last year with a lot of success. As always, it's the whole point is to better serve our customers. And I think we have that in common. In the DNA of our two companies, we want to bring the best services, the best experience to our customers. And Proximus Next is part of that journey.
And you did a lot of local acquisitions to make it also a very successful organization. But you also did a lot of acquisition internationally lately. Can you tell us a little bit more on the reasons why and the international expansion taking place?
Yeah, sure. It's a fantastic journey for us because it's a true diversification of who we are as a company. So now we want to be one of the key players in the domain of digital communications. What is digital communication? It's really to send the right message to the right person at the right moment using the right channel of communications.
We all like that.
We all like that. So it's a booming market because interactions between end users and platforms, end users and objects, those interactions are exploding, and we have to provide to customers, to big platforms. Our customers are sometimes Microsoft. You are customer of ours for this kind of service globally. We need to provide an orchestration of those communications. And that's what we call CPaaS platforms, Communication Platform as a Service. And Proximus, with the acquisition of Route Mobile, an Indian company that will be closed by mid-May, will become suddenly the third worldwide player in digital communications. So
it's a huge achievement.
It's a huge achievement. Yeah. So it's a different Proximus. It's Proximus with a lot of strengths outside Belgium. But it will be really significant for us. International activity will account for more than 3 billion of revenues in the coming 3 years. So it's going to be significant, important. It changed completely the profile of Proximus as a company. We like our domestic operations, of course, but also we like that to be able to be one of the key software platforms going forward.
But it's great to see that a Belgian company is in the top 3 worldwide on this communication platform as a service. So, and we love to partner, and we also are a very satisfied customer of those services internationally as well. So, which is really fine. You're also investing a lot in 5G and fiber. How do you see there the impact on the generative AI play, and how is that coming to life?
I think those networks are key to enable Gen AI use cases or AI use cases for the country. Without low latency, high bandwidth networks, AI will not exist in Belgium. So we need to roll out those networks to allow the broadband architecture that we need for our customers, for your customers, for the country, to make sure that AI use cases can happen also in Belgium. So and there is, as you know, a correlation in between the level and the quality of the broadband architecture of a country with the ability of a country to grow, and the GDP is really related to availability of broadband architectures. So I think this is key. Of course, this is a massive investment, a huge investment we have to undertake. It's just to give you an idea, it's 10 billion euro to be invested in Belgium to be able to roll out fiber for 95% of the population. So huge, massive investment, but that is needed. So that's really why we think that we have to do it. It's important for everyone, and for the ability of Belgium to part of the top growing country going forward in terms of innovation. Also, it's also super important. So that's where 5G fiber can play a role in the development of Gen AI and AI. And we are fully on it. 36% of the country will be covered with fiber at the end of March. More than 50% of the country is already covered with 5G, and 100% of the country will be covered by 2025 and 2026. So we are there. I think we are meeting that commitment we gave to everyone a few years ago to be able to roll out those networks. And without those networks, I think it will be super difficult to make sure that Gen AI and AI are a success in the country. So that's super important. One aspect of the equation, of course. Second aspect, we use ourselves Gen AI to better run those networks. I would only take one example. I think predictive maintenance. So we are using today AI to make sure that we can intervene on the networks before the network is breaking. Not all the network, of course, one little part that we can make sure that we can repair it before it can cause some bad experiences to our customers. So AI is already helping us to be better, to be more efficient in the way we are managing those networks. So that's also a way to make sure that those networks are also going to be capable to deal with all the requests they are receiving because of the development of AI.
That's a great example. Do you have more use cases to share?
We have many examples to share. And one remark before, as you know, we have also launched a new company a few years ago, whose name is Proximus Ada, under the Ada Lovelace.
Yes.
She was one of the founder of object-centric programmation language, computing language. 2 years ago, before even the hype of GenAI in the world, we have launched that Proximus Ada to make sure that we can create a center of excellence in Belgium. They are located in the center of Brussels at Bicentral, where we could hire and try to convince the talents of the country to help us develop for Proximus, but also for our customers, AI use cases and now GenAI use cases. So we have the ambition to have 150 young and talented, not only young, by the way, but talented developers to help Proximus focus on the development of those GenAI and AI use cases. So I will take a few examples today where we want to use GenAI. Most of the time, we imagine that GenAI will help us to better interact with our customers. So for customer services, for customer inquiries, and that's the first domain where we want to build some exciting use cases for us. And we have launched a few months ago already, back in November, a chatbot powered by GenAI. And interesting to note, when our customers are using this GenAI powered chatbot, the NPS of the customer, so the satisfaction of the customer is improving by 4 percentage points. So it shows that a GenAI powered chatbot is better than a chatbot which is not powered, which is more deterministic way of doing or dealing with customer requests. So that's one example. Another example which is less known, but that you know perfectly, because we have now rolled out Gtab, so Copilot Gtab for 80%, but soon to be 100% of our by summertime of our developers with that new product to help them develop their own lines of codes. And that's also less visible as use case, but at least it enables those developers to be way more efficient in the way they write their code. Also meaning that our own innovation will be sooner to the market. Yes. And that's the key element. It's not only very spectacular use case. It's a way that every part of the organization is going to be more efficient thanks to the adoption of GenAI-powered tools. And that's for our developers, but also for me as a user. I have the chance to be one of the first user of Copilot for Microsoft Office, I would say. And now it would be difficult to me to start with a blank page, a new document. Now I know that with the support of Copilot, I can start with something that does exist. I don't have to start from scratch. And you said that you have to unlearn things. I've learned now to unlearn writing from something from a blank page. I'm always starting a document with something that is already there. I'm not sure it's a good thing for going forward. That's more another addiction. But what do you need to learn? What kind of skills you need to continue to have as a leader in that new GenAI world? But for me as a user of GenAI, it changed a bit the way I'm looking at creating documents. That's for sure.
But this remains, of course, a co-pilot. You're still in the pilot seat.
And I think the leadership capabilities will remain the same, but it will make you more faster as well. I'm also using it. I'm never starting from a blanco page again.
Yeah.
I'm just asking, and it's all about also the learning of to do the right prompting. We are sharing now prompts amongst us, and then it goes very fast because if it's also the way you're questioning, of course, gives you the right answers, or helps you at least to guide you into the right direction.
And sometimes also it's super important to be trained, and
Yes.
because it can be if you are prompting the wrong way, then
Yes.
The answer is not right. Of course, you're prompting the wrong way, so the answer is not as appealing as it could be if you are prompting the right way. But then the experience is not really great, and then the adoption falls, goes down, and that is a key attention point. It's really, you don't give Copilot in the hands of your colleagues without a very sharp training. Otherwise, you have the risk to create a bit of a disappointment on the tech. But when it's used the right way, it's really a life changer kind of experience.
Yes, game-changing experience.
Game-changing experience.
Yes, absolutely. I was here last week, and you turned 50. Is life-changing for you?
Yeah, of course. When you are a 50 years old person, it's you look at life a bit differently. But I hope that the next 50 years are going to be as exciting as the first 50 years.
I'm sure.
I'm sure it will. So I'm super. It's a cap, but I feel good about it.
Great. So we are mutual customers from each other. We are also very strong partners. How do you see that evolve? Where do you see the place of Proximus and Microsoft here in the Belgian markets, Luxembourgian markets, but also broader internationally? If you would look forward to 2030, how will the world? What will it look like?
I think I think the first it's Belgium, US. So it's a bit of a broader question about how come we can make companies from Europe working with companies from the US, and I'm a strong believer that we need to bring everyone around the table. So we don't want a world that is preventing large companies from Europe to work with large companies of the US. But there is a risk that it will be more difficult in the future. But I don't believe it will happen. But that risk is there. So we need to explain also and to find ways to collaborate in a fair way. And you mentioned that you are also a customer of Proximus. We are customers of you, and I think when the relationship is balanced, where there is fairness in the way large corporates are dealing with one another, I think there is mutual benefits to partner, and I'm a strong believer in partnerships. I'm in that camp, in the camp of collaboration, in the camp of sharing the best of the two continents. And of course, sometimes US technology has got a hedge on European technology, so that we have to think about it. But it's a way also to use for European companies to use US technology to be better. And we have to create a win-win environment so that we can benefit from US technology, so that we can be a better continent or a better company as Proximus. But also sometimes we can also bring angles that US companies do not have. So that should be the way we should interact in between us. So that's more for the macro approach to your question. And then for two companies, I think the future is bright. You bring capabilities. I think we bring expertise and knowledge of the local market that you have, but we are strongly connected to a lot of enterprises here in the country. So I think our partnership can create opportunities for a lot of enterprises here in the country, and the fact that we bring our knowledge, our skills together, and we bring those skills together, I think it's a great opportunity for a lot of our joint customers.
I'm very sure that they will see that benefit as well. Maybe a little bit going back to the macroeconomical view, because I liked the way you were positioning that. I do believe that the Gen AI focus now will deliver most of the competitiveness to the users, not to the developers as such. So the faster we are in our adoption, the faster we will also be ahead of the rest of the world. Do you agree with that? Is that...
Yeah, I think I do agree that, you know, moving to clouds, using Gen AI APIs. At the end of the day, it's kind of an engine for companies, and that engine, the way you use it, you can, you know, tune it so that you're gonna win the race, or tune it so that you are going to be behind. And of course, if we are not using the same engines compared to the other continents, then we're going to lose. So that's why we have to be able to use it. Of course, there is a question of interoperability, because when we use one engine, and I think we could change the components of this engine so that we can continue to run or to drive without having to be, you know, married forever with one provider. That's important as a customer. But I think all regulation or all discussion at European level are going that way, and in a constructive way also for US providers. So I think there is a path where, as you mentioned, because we are using the best platforms, Europe as a continent can be more creative, more innovative, and deliver growth. So I know I'm always seeing the glass half full, and I think there is a path to make sure we can collaborate in the best way we can.
Yes, absolutely. And Belgians are known for the curiosity and for our knowledge economy. So I think we need to take the advantage of being one of the first movers and making sure that we stay ahead of all the rest. We briefly touched the skilling component. I know that you're also investing a lot in, for example, Mole and Geek, in B-Code, etc. Also in the educational field, you were mentioning the change management within the company. Do you have any advice to our viewers?
If you don't adapt, I think we are in an industry or moment of the evolution of the technology landscape that everyone needs to be trained permanently and to be retrained permanently and to be reskilled permanently. If you don't do that as a person, as a company, as a country, then you're going to be behind the pack and not at the edge of what can be invented or delivered. So I think that mindset you have to implement. It's not in your DNA. And also for the people that have not the chance to be in that environment where you see the motivation to train yourself constantly, I think we should support them. Otherwise, you're going to create a bridge or a gap that will not be narrow in the coming years, but that will be even larger. And I think our role as companies is also to give a bit of support to make sure that people that have not access to these trainings, that are not access to this kind of positive environment towards technology, we can bring that to them. The digital divide, that's the way we call it sometimes. I think it's our role also as large companies active in the tech domain. I think we should try a bit to support and to help close that digital divide. That's why sometimes we are also together on that. We try to contribute a bit to close the gap.
Yes, and it's our duty, and it's also we like to do that, of course, because that's the true impact of society, is really making sure that everyone can make that step forward and everyone can be part of the new economy that's actually started already a couple of months ago, because this is a revolution like we've known before.
And also, if you have more people believing in technology, I think it's good for the world. I think it's good for the future of the world. So it's a way to look at society and the evolution of our future a bit more positively as well.
Absolutely, I think we've got that in common as well. We're both tech optimists. We have some big issues to cater for, I would say, in society, and I'm a true believer that technology will help us to get those resolved. That's also why I am in IT, I think you are as
For
well.
the same reasons, yeah.
Yes. So thank you so much for the conversation. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm looking forward to see you as well on the next editions of this podcast. Thank you.